Every year around September, I start ordering a whole range of books and I start what I call my reading season. I don't read books all year long, but from about September through to about February, for those 5 or 6 months, I dive into as many books as I want to, generally half a dozen up to a dozen. And I pile through them, or I start and then don't finish them, chuck them away, whatever, or give them away. I no longer have bookshelves. I like to give books away or chuck them out once I'm finished, unless they're rare and I keep them. So let's go through. I'm going to go through books I haven't started yet or have got part way through to books that I've finished. I'm going to tell you the books I didn't like, but also I'm going to give you the best book. It's the book of the year for me. That's the last one. I'm going to work through this pile. I have about 10 or 12 books here. Let's go. First book I haven't read is by my friend Chris Brown. He sent this to me. Chris is a pastor in New South Wales. Handbook for Dads. This is the next book I'm going to start. I'm really looking forward to reading this and hopefully it will help my fathering. And it's never too late to learn how to be a good dad. The Four Loves by C.S. Lewis. Now, this is a sort of book I rarely would ever buy. It's more devotional. It's kind of more soul and heart and probably a bit poetic. I started reading, I think it was one of the first books I picked up to read, didn't quite get into it and thought I'll come back to it. Well, now's about the time I have to get back into it. And I'm kind of looking forward to it, but not. It's not the sort of book that I really enjoy. What is it about? Millions of words have been written about love, but few are so succinct as this, according to someone who wrote this. So this should be a good book. This might make me more loving, which wouldn't be a bad thing, actually. So I'll give that a go. The Chairman's Lounge. This guy is an Australian journalist, Joe Aston. He is crazy good, very articulate and straight to the point. There is no room for mucking around. You won't die wondering what he's thinking. It's about Qantas, our Australian airline, main Australian airline, and the damage done to it by a previous CEO. I'm about halfway through it. I'm enjoying it, but it's getting slightly tedious in that this CEO did an absolute monster job of wrecking Qantas's reputation and brand. And I may get back to it, I may not. We'll see how we end up with that. Here's one I am enjoying. Be the One Who Wins the One for the One. Andrew Purchase, my wonderful evangelist friend, has written a book of stories of evangelism, people he's led to Christ. I love some of the chapter headings are great. The Handsome Ladies Man and the Angry Man with the Wild Hair, the napkin diagram, the shy guy, the Indian Catholic hippie, the feral surfers. I'm actually cruising through this book and reading chapters that really kind of grab me, or the Iceman, the baby on the bin. I mean, he's got amazing stories and great tips on personal evangelism. So I'm partway through that, but I'm kind of sporadically reading bits of it, but highly recommend that book to you. Feeling stuck as a church leader? Growing your church doesn't have to be overwhelming. The Hub gives you step-by-step roadmaps to grow a healthy church in just 20 minutes a day. Join the hundreds of church leaders who found their breakthrough by accessing my 4 decades of ministry experience, which delivers genuine results. Start your free 14-day trial today at growahealthychurch.com/hub. Now, here's a couple of books that I didn't enjoy. Tiny Experiments. I saw this book and thought, oh, great title. Tiny Experiments, How to Live Freely in a Goal-Obsessed World. And she's got a lot of heavy hitters kind of recommending this book. Some big people. Adam Grant, author of Think Again. Ali Abdaal, huge YouTuber. Cal Newport, author of Deep Work. I found it boring. I didn't find it interesting at all. I thought it was like rehashing old stuff about goals and productivity. I love productivity books, but this one just didn't do it for me. So, yep, that's gone. Going. The 100-Year Life. Here's another book that I thought this is going to be great. I love the drawing on the front. Can you see that? It's a rocking chair by a computer, sitting at a computer with a desk. And I thought this is great because of another book I was reading. I was inspired, 100-Year Life. I don't want to live to 100. I'm 72. I don't want to live to 100. But I thought interesting. But it's more written from it's an economist and a psychologist have written it. And it's too broad for the sort of information I finished it, but I'd have to say I scanned, read and skipped a fair bit of it. So Yep, that one's going as well. This was a fascinating book that I didn't finish. No Other Success. Jim Penman. If you live in Australia or New Zealand, you've heard of Jim's mowing, Jim's cleaning, Jim's car detailing, Jim's washing dogs, Jim's everything. This is a guy who started, Jim Penman, an obsessive, absolutely obsessive, driven man. Fascinating. It's a really badly produced, published book in terms of the quality of the book itself, which doesn't make it nice to read. I don't think he hired an editor. It's some crazy, amazing stories of what someone can produce through all sorts of upheavals, been married 3 times, is a believer. Work that out yourself. I don't know. But quite interesting just to see what someone can achieve, but not a book. Would I recommend this? Maybe if you want to, but great Australian, but whatever. This is huge book, The Power of Protein. I saw this and thought, wow, that could be interesting. And kids bought it for me for Christmas. It's quite good. I got some good stuff about protein. I'm really working hard on. I'm actually using AI as my food coach this year to help me with my eating. But it's great. Got some good recipes in there that I will try. I do like cooking. So I'm going to try some of those recipes. I've already folded over some of the pages. It's one of my habits is if I like a part of, some people hate this, I fold over a page in a book if I want to go back to it. I do that regularly. Some people think that destroys books. Keeping that'll get utilized. There's the lady who wrote it. There's The Power of Protein. I'd recommend that if you like cooking. Now, here's the books that I really did enjoy, and the top one, How Christians Can Succeed Today. There you go. I'll throw it there. It's a bit hard to see, isn't it, in the light? Greg Sheridan is an Australian journalist, Catholic, and a really good book. It's basically delving into Christian history to understand what made Christianity so robust and rigorous that it survived persecution and the years, and what can that inform us about today? Greg's a Catholic, so I found some of the emphasis on Catholicism or Catholics a little bit, okay. But, it's a good read, really good read, interesting read, easy read. He's a good journalist. He's easy to read. I recommend that one, definitely, absolutely. My good friend Stephen McAlpine gets a mention in the book as well, which is cool. Made in Our Image. I mean, that title, that book cover will get you going anyway. Made in Our Image, Stephen Driscoll. There's the pastor with his Bible and his cross. He's got the head of a robot. So it's all about God, artificial intelligence, and you. And I kind of took a little time to get into this book, but I really did enjoy it. It's a good overview about AI. If you're going to use AI, it's about the ethics of AI. It's about not so much the pragmatics of it, but more about a macro view of how to use AI, how it impacts us, what the future starts to look about it. But I'd recommend this book definitely for pastors and church leaders. This one I highly recommend for anyone involved with a non-profit, whether it be a church or I'm a director on an Altar One college. So I'm a director there. So this is entirely relevant for us as a college with Christian value systems. Magnificent book. I mean, outstanding book. Almost book of the year, but it got pipped by another one I read after it. Mission Drift by Peter Greer and Chris Hoist. These guys are articulate. They're sharp, they're smart, and they really dive into stories of why organizations like the YMCA and Harvard and Yale totally lost their mission, drifted completely away from their mission, and why other organizations haven't. Very good read, excellent read. I'm banging our board table at Alder One saying all our directors need to read this. It is brilliant. It's a classic. I think it's a bit older now, maybe 10 years older or maybe more. But read this if you're involved in nonprofits. Now, book of the year. This is one of those books that changed my life. Die with Zero by Bill Perkins. I cannot recommend this highly enough, whatever stage of your life you're at. It's basically about maximizing your life through the decades in such a way that as you age, you have memories that will feed you and your soul for a long, long time. Highly recommend this. It's changed a number of things for me. Let me give you one tip out of the book. 5-year time buckets. So not a bucket list. I'm going to do this by the end of my life, but what am I going to do in the next 5 years that creates a memory that I will live off for the decades ahead? Brilliant book. I'm really not explaining it that well, but trust me, by this, I think this is revolutionary. There you go. They're the books that I'm reading, have chucked out. This one is going to get read again. These books I'm going to keep, maybe, or pass them on. Some have already gone into the bin back there. God bless you. Tell me in the comments what you're reading.